of all that is. We are here as foot soldiers for what we know to be true, righteous treatment of all of your children. Persons with titles assume that by their position they have authority over those of us who issue titles. No, sir. No, ma'am. No, I am an attorney. No, I am a doctor, and such. The never-ending list of titles presume authority over the jura summa imperii man or woman who chooses to be acknowledged as their very own authority. Our culture has been conditioned to believe that a professional has more authority over one of the people untitled. Our name alone, with its unique vibration, should be our sufficient identity. Yet the structure has been designed to create a caste system of authority and degrees of authority, educational hurdles, indoctrination, and practices, be they law or medicine. The judge in a courtroom sits highest above all in the proceedings. Additionally, to further add to the spectacle of authority, quote, all must rise, end quote, as if in supplication to his or her honor, which in some, if not many, maybe all cases, honor is questionable. The charade is continued by the necessity to be spoken for by a person with the title of attorney, who has been given authority to know the law better than the man or woman who has been named a criminal by persons with uniforms and badge numbers given their authority by unelected policymakers who are holding their position of policy, thus ignoring the Chevron deference doctrine recently overturned. Think DPSSG, think DMV, think committees therein, think any number of lettered agencies which by their caps alone imply authority, or else. And as commerce does, there's always a price to pay when mislabeled, aka titled, by one of them. This is a plea for sanity, decency, discernment, respect, true honor, heart, and humanity at its core, that all men and women are truly created equal in the eyes of our Lord Creator. Let it be so, and so it is.
Hello. I went to a meeting last week and I was told lots of things. And some of them I remembered and some of them I agreed with. But one of the things I was told was that they didn't understand, that it had been explained to them, but they didn't understand, that they had to study it more. And so then I thought, I wonder what part they're going to study more. Then I had to think about what we've come through and where we are. And where we are is in front of the county commissioners for Yamhill County discussing Sam Elliott and whether or not he has the bona fides to occupy the office of sheriff, which he doesn't. We checked. He could have. It would not be difficult at all. I don't know what you don't know. So I'm going to go through a couple of things, and anything that you would like to know about, contact me. You know how to do that. The Bill of Rights, especially Amendment 7, in suits in common law where the value in controversy shall exceed $20, the right of trial by jury shall be preserved, and no fact tried by a jury shall be otherwise re-examined in any court of the United States than according to the rules of common law. That's what we're dealing with now. We have had 115 years of administrative, admiralty, maritime, color of law, de facto incorporated governance that has not worked. We do not have what we were guaranteed Like the folks that were guaranteed 40 acres and a mule, they didn't get it either. You have to take these things. They're there for the taking, but you have to do the taking. You have to be the one that makes the decision. Nobody can do it for you. And you can't do it alone. So, is it the Bill of Rights? How about living testimony in the form of an affidavit of truth? We call it an LTA. I am 18 years old or older, a man or a woman, on the land and soil of Oregon, without the state of Oregon, aka all caps state of Oregon, within the United States of America, the constitutional Republican form of government. I am one of the people, a living body, mind, spirit, flesh, blood, soul, being, that kind of stuff. Who we are, what we stand for. I don't know if you know that stuff or not. You should. You were supposed to have gotten 5 years of constitutional education starting no later than the 8th grade. Did you get it? Me either. And I did the 8th grade a long time before you did. What about oath of a county sheriff? For the peace, safety, and happiness of the souls of the men and women and their progeny on Oregon, I, for an example, Sam Elliott, elected as chief executive and conservator of the peace of the people on our county, do solemnly swear or affirm my duty as sheriff for Yamhill County on Oregon to support, uphold, defend, and enforce. If you're packing a gun, you do more than support. Original jurisdiction of the Constitution. Original jurisdiction, that's what they brought back from Washington District of Columbia in 1859. Before anybody here got a chance to do anything to it, that's the original document. Everybody should be able to take an oath to that document. Anything that was done to that document had been done properly, or it's illegitimate, de facto, and can't stand. If the addition or change to the Constitution is legitimate and lawful, and we don't know what they did in 1870 and 1880 and 1890 and 1900, but we know in 1910 they decided to blatantly cheat and defraud us. We know that much. Original jurisdiction in the Constitution, both circa 1859. The United States of America's apostrophe S Constitution is 1859. That's the last time the Constitution was changed, corrected, or amended legitimately in original jurisdiction without any fraud. I pledge to apply Oregon's apostrophe S lawful statutes and ordinances with compassion, and in all of my conduct do so with honesty and dedication to the laws of nature and nature's God. Now, what could possibly be rancorous about that oath? It's not like something we dreamt up to torture you with. You should be happy to take an oath like that. Or if you can't take an oath like that, we need to know it so we can get rid of you. So then you sign it and date it. It's with the jurat and it needs at least 2 witnesses. And you have to take it in front of a court. A court is 3 tribunals and a clerk. That has to be done. You are our number one. Every county has one. You have to do the job. Nobody can do it for you. If you're crooked, if you're defrauding us, if you lie, cheat, and steal, we need to know it and get rid of you. If you don't, and you see somebody else do it, you have to get rid of them. This has to be done. 115 years of fraud's long enough. We are no longer deceived. That law form doesn't play. So then next here is the paperwork from our assembly, our Article 3, Amendment 7, court of record, where we convicted Kate Brown. Then we come to the Constitution, the United States of America's Constitution, which is the final article in the Articles of Confederation and our Perpetual Union, which are still in effect. And then we come to the Constitution. The part of the Constitution I want to talk about with you, the sheriff, is Article 3. The judicial power of the United States shall be vested in one Supreme Court. That's small o, small s, capital C. And in such inferior courts as Congress may from time to time ordain and establish. They're going to make sure the judges get paid and their compensation stays the same. The judicial power shall extend to all cases in law and equity. Okay, a jury can be in law, Amendment 7, and the jury can move into equity. That's the jury's decision. So the jury has law and equity. And equity is not what you think. You have to look it up. Bouvier's, 6th edition, 2 volumes, 1856. So then we come along here and it states a lot of stuff. When you start reading this, I don't know whether you can see all of this or not. Can you see all the annotations there? Just trying to figure that out. It's complicated. There are many one Supreme Courts. There has to be an Article 3 court as close to the county where the incident happened as can be. That's written down. That's one of the guarantees. The people in an Article 3 court in New York City do not get to make a decision for what's going on in Beaverton. One Supreme Court. Wherever that court, Article 3, is meeting, it is the one Supreme Court in that jurisdiction. That's how the United States and the states in Congress assembled decided to write it down. They didn't write it down another way. They wrote it down this way. This is lawful, legitimate, and this is what we are doing. That Constitution right there is immediately broken if you pay attention to Article 7 amended in Oregon's Constitution. They take away, they do not add. It is not for our benefit. That is strictly for the benefit of attorneys and judges. Look at all the judges that they made. And if you read Amendment 7 again, you don't have an appeal. There is no appellate court. When you're tried by an Article 3 court, that's it. The jury made the decision. They can move into equity, but they'll make their decision. No judges allowed. Courts. I told you what a court was. A court's 3 tribunals and a clerk. Courts judge the law, not judges. Courts. Courts make a lot of those decisions that judges have usurped. Judges without proper authority. A court cannot be incorporated. It's not a business. but they treat it like one, and they want you to be the cash cow. And they want the sheriffs to do the collecting. So what we have is Article 7 amended. They establish the courts for all the county courthouses to be a subdivision of the state of Oregon's court system. It's not a county court anymore. It's a subdivision of a state's system. In the original, without amended, it was common law. Afterwards, they became codified statutes. And you can have all of those you want, but they do not get to usurp common law. And Oregon is a common law state. So you have to have a legitimate reason, not just, I saw you cross the white line while you were driving. It's not for you to decide what a jura summa imperii is doing. When they are doing it, let them do it. Make sure that you are actually doing the job of the sheriff's posse on patrol. You are doing the work. You work for the office of sheriff, which is occupied by a man or a woman who has fulfilled all the obligations and taken a proper oath to be such. And the deputies have to be intelligent enough to understand that they don't have the authority. They are not the final word. Until the Oregon State Police cleans up their act, they don't have any word at all. Their superintendent was appointed by Tina. Tina's a convicted criminal. I was there when she was convicted. Article 3, Amendment 7, Civilian Common Law Court of Record. Look it up. We did, and we formed one. We did all that was necessary to do it. Nobody gave us permission. We are Article 1, Section 1. All power is inherent in the people when they take it, when they do it. And we did. So what part don't you understand? Article 7 amended, and every courthouse system is playing de facto law, color of law, and you know it. And the reason we know you know it is because we have proof of service. You must do your job. Now, if Sam doesn't get the job done, then Kit and Bubba and Mary have to do their job. And we're here to make sure they do. Our court and a couple extras went and talked to them a couple of weeks ago. It was a nice afternoon, spent it over there after testifying. What part don't you understand? If you supply guards and bailiffs to that court, that de facto court, then you are part of that system, part of that de facto system. You cannot be juré. You have the wrong oath. But when you read the definitions, de facto's there. We know it's there. We see it. We deal with it all the time. It's insidious. And the sheriffs are all part of it, but they don't have to be. You can be a legitimate sheriff. You can actually be a constitutional sheriff and take a proper oath and still deal with the de facto. It's there. You have to correct it. However it's corrected is going to be a real chore. They've had 115 years to practice this deception. They haven't been teaching what we should know since 1947. It's not going to be easy. You need to do it. Each one of you, each one of us, all of us have to comprehend just exactly what it is to be a man or a woman on the land and soil, without ruler and without subject, and capable of doing the job. That's important work, and it has to be done. And among all of us, we ideally shoot for the best one to fulfill the job of sheriff and make that man or that woman the one to guard our peace, safety, and happiness. And when you folks do not have your house in order, your deputies don't have their house in order, mortgages and taxes decimate the populations, homes, farms, ranches. That's not necessary. We don't need more government. We don't need any more help. Leave us alone. Every time you help, it gets worse. You don't need to have toll roads. You need to do the job. You don't need to have sessions all the time. You need to put the correct people in the job. This is a constitutional Republican form of government. Republican doesn't mean Republican Party. This is not a democracy. The democracy part is located in Washington, District of Columbia, what's left of their 10-mile square. That's where democracy works. That's where the majority votes and makes things happen. Any place else, it's not democracy. It's our Republican form of government working properly, not like January 21st, 2021, when the only one in the building was Mike Neerman. All the rest of them were treasonous. They broke their oath on purpose, and Tina was leading them. And they're all guilty. They cannot hold a position of trust. And you can't murder Robert Lavoy Finicum up in the snow and get away with it. You don't get to pass a rule in the legislature exonerating the actions of those that killed a man on Oregon. That doesn't happen on our watch. That's not going to happen. So what don't you know? What part don't you know? Is it the Constitution you don't know because you've never read it? You didn't get 5 years of study? You get angry, you ask a lawyer, an attorney, what does this mean? Don't worry about it. I'll take care of it for you. Oh, well, thank you. You're an idiot if you let them take care of anything for you. Read the 12 presumptions. You give it all away when you sign up with an attorney. And on Oregon especially, you cannot have unfettered counsel on Oregon. You must have one of their club as your counsel or go it alone. It's not right. 115 years of fraud. And we're not the first ones to find out about it. We've just gotten farther than most. And I yield.
Hi, I'm Eric Dover with the Oregon Statewide Journal Assembly, and I have some messages for the Oregon sheriffs. Where are sheriffs? Our Article 3, Amendment 7 Civilian Common Law Court of Record has made numerous visits and relentless communications to our county sheriffs on Oregon. Why? because our sheriffs are our first protection against governance overreach. It is our county sheriffs that should be there to assist seniors to prevent their eviction from their home and all they possess. It should be our county sheriffs who protect and defend the people from a corrupt court system, rather than ticketing them or supporting the illegitimate amended Article 7 courts. Our sheriffs seem to be avoiding any engagement with us, the people reaching out for a conversation about their refusal to see us. Contact requests are met with cricket sounds. Where are our sheriffs? It is significant that they take a proper oath to the Constitution, circa 1859, with its original jurisdiction, that is, to the people rather than to a corporation, to our Creator, that is, with God included. Such a dejuration, an oath, is needed for there to be remedy in our system of governance. Let's get this ball rolling. It just takes one of you to make a difference, to get it started, to assist in awakening your colleagues in sheriffdom. Let it be so.
They do not want to let go of this. They do not intend on losing here. And we do not intend giving it back to them.
And then the bullets started flying. And then he jumps out of the car. And he's got both his hands up. And he got out of the car, and he had his hands in the air. He's like, just shoot me then. This is what you want, to shoot me. And they did. They shot him dead. With his hands in the air, and I saw it. I swear to God. He was just walking with his hands in the air. And they shot him. And they shot him dead, and then after he was down on the ground, they shot him 3 more times.